Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ed Barber Field. Going to get this second game going. Iowa Central took the first game, which was a 7-inning game, by the score of 8-0 off of a great pitching to play from Steffens. And now on the mound is Moeller. Two-seam fastball hanging in the high 80s. Change-up curveball behind it. Squares around a bunt. Gets it back in time, but it's a strike anyway. Behind Moeller defensively, this is how Iowa Central shapes up behind the plate. Didn't play in the first game, but catching is Dylan Gassner. Over at first base is Fran Diaz. Spencer Franco playing second. Over at the hot corner is Junior Aracena, and dominating the middle of the infield as shortstop is Rodney Rodriguez. The outfielders from left to right are Halligan, Martinez, and Calderon. Moeller quickly up 1-2 here. Coming out early with the fastball. Kicks and deals. That was a curveball. He gets ahead of it. Was thinking extra bases off the bat, but it takes a bounce foul before it can get to first base. Ray's back up to bat. This one comes over. It's a high fastball, fouled off. Still fighting to keep himself alive in this at-bat. Rezbeck was 1 for 3. He had one of only 2 hits that Ellsworth was able to gather against Steffens were off of Rezbeck's hands, so he'll try to get something going here early. They got him leading off. Bad second in the last game. They've moved him up in the order. Mueller still trying to put away the leadoff hitter here. That's a changeup he swings over the top of, but he fouls it off. So still staying alive. Good leadoff at bat here, whether he can get on base or not. He's seen an awful lot, and there he might have 2. Splits the outfielders out there. He's going to round it and go for 2. He'll be up easy. He might even think 3. Nope, going to round it hard, think better of it, and come back. Good throw to the cutoff man, keeps him there, but a great way to lead off this game for Ellsworth. Sees an awful lot of pitches, keeps fouling off potential strike 3s, and then finally gets one to hit and wraps it into the outfield. So now Iowa Central quickly in trouble. Travis Miller up. Miller 0 for 2 in the first half of this doubleheader. Fastball misses down and away. 1-0. Here, Moeller. Trying to get back in this count. As I mentioned before, game you just missed, offensive explosion. Iowa Central was able to put up 8, and then not only did they have a great day on offense, there were no errors behind a great pitching performance from Steffen. He went all 7 innings on 2 hits and no earned runs. And this one, though, is left right down Main Street. It's crushed. It has a chance to go, and it will go. Quickly up, Ellsworth 2-0. They get the single, and then 2 batters into this game. Miller hits a home run over the left field fence, an awful lot like the one he hit yesterday. His second straight day with the home run, and Miller's put them out. They've jumped out quickly ahead, 2-0. So now Moeller's going to have to settle down. First inning of the game is usually when you want to try to get into your rhythm. He's been jumped on right away. 2 extra base hits, the double, and then finally the round tripper from Miller.
First baseman number 23, Trent Bauer.
Bauer up now. So an offense that Steffen was able to really keep at bay has finally busted out here in the first. A good play over at second. Will they get him in time? Got him. Beautiful. Great defensive play from Spencer Franco. The diving stop, able to get up in time to deliver the throw and get there a step ahead of Bauer. Now Jake King up, didn't see any of him. in the 2 games yesterday. He'll start both today. In the first game, he went 0 for 2. Flew out to second base, grounded out to short. And now quickly down 0-1 to Muller. This is a curveball swung on. Early on it, he fouls it down the right field line. So now we'll see what he goes with. He's got to get back on this. This is an important batter. Retire a few here in the first. Get a couple outs in a row. Settle down. From the first 2 at-bats of the game, which just went about as bad as you could have them go. Gave up a double to Rezbeck, and then Miller blasted one over the left field fence to put them down quickly 2-0, trying to prevent any further damage. Reaching for this one out of the zone and fouling it off. Still 1-2. Muller working now. Has to get his command back. He's still been a little bit all over the place. Even when he's thrown strikes, it hasn't been to the glove. He's missed spots. This one he leaves over the corner. And it's going back. It's going to chase him all the way back, 1 step in front of the warning track, but the left fielder able to corral that one, ranging back, Austin Halligan. Halligan made a beautiful diving catch in the 7th of the last inning. This time, just has to range a few feet over to his left and back in the shadow of the wall, able to corral that. 2 down, walking up, more. As I was just about to introduce him, fouls one straight back. Holtman-Serra walking in, and he's a big change. He's been leading off for all 3 of the last games. Now, in the 4th game, they have him penciled in to the leadoff spot. Pardon me, to the cleanup spot. It was leading off all the way through this weekend. Mancera in the last game, he went 0 for 4. He struck out twice, grounded out, and flew out to left. Quickly down 0-2 here, now trying to get out of this inning, Muller. Andy Will gets him swinging over top of the curveball. So the inning goes quickly, but Ellsworth able to strike hard. A 2-run home run from Miller puts him up 2-0. Now Iowa Central is going to have to try to respond. We'll be right back on the Tri Nation Network. And now as we get ready for the bottom of the first here, Iowa Central's got some work to do, and they'll be doing it against Trevor Smizek, who will have behind him this setup. Greg Anderberg, these are big differences. He's catching third, the 3 spot. At first base is going to be Trent Bauer. Playing second base is going to be Sergio Elanese. Playing the hot corner, still Sebastian Holt-Mancera, so that's one of the only things in the infield that has stayed the same. And from left to right, missed the shortstop, Kevin Rezbeck, that stays the same as well. Left to right, left field is Travis Miller, center field is Evan Jackson, and rounding it out in right field is Brandon Mockler, who hasn't seen any action so far in the 3 games. So we'll see how he steps in defensively. The throw down, and now stepping in will be Spencer Franco. The Tritons' batting order is Franco, Martinez, Diaz, Calderon, Stucher, Arcena, Halligan, Gassner, and Rodriguez.
Spencer Franco.
So Franco comes in. He went 2 for 4 with a double in the opening game of this evening. He'll try to keep that going in the second game. This one fired into him. He fouls it back. Smizek up quickly ahead. Left-hander. Dealing to a predominantly right-handed lineup. Kicks and fires. It's a fastball low. So far 1-1. He's going to have to try to keep this Triton's order in check. Last 2 games it's been hot. I'd say the last 5 games it's been hot. 2 of them they put up 10 runs. And that doesn't even factor in the 8-run rule they put up on Thursday. So it's an offense that hasn't only been winning games, they've been putting people away early with how hot they've been with the bats. But for now, they're in a bit of a hole. 2-2 count to Franco. The leadoff man trying to get something started. Iowa Central trying to answer after a 2-run home run from Miller, and he goes down swinging on a fastball outside. Gets him to swing through it. Franco goes down, the leadoff man for Iowa Central. Has been retired, but now dealing with Felix Martinez.
Center fielder number 13, Felix Martinez.
Martinez batted in this 2 spot last game, and he went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. Pardon me, 2 singles. Just missed a double on a deep pop fly that was tracked down by the right fielder. This one's fouled off. 0-1. The count. So far, Smizek has been getting things over the plate well. He's jumped out ahead of both batters so far. He seems to be wanting to attack this Triton lineup, which is something you have to do because they will take their walks, as any good power hitting lineup will. Doesn't matter if you have all the power in the world. If pitchers know they can get you fishing, you won't get anything to hit. Now swinging through strike 2. It's Felix Martinez. Took a big long cut of that. Might have to shorten down here with 2 strikes. Hasn't seen anything soft yet, so he might have to be wary of the hook. Pitch is a fastball down and away, and it's floated out towards right field, drifting in and making the easy play. Can of corn fly ball for Mockler, his first action of the series. Handles a routine pop fly, and now it'll be Diaz.
First baseman number 5, Fran Diaz.
Diaz was 3 for 4 with a homer last game, so he stays in that 3 spot. He's swinging it hot right now. The first pitch comes in. They're going to have to be careful to him because he's still dangerous, but this one, he goes down out of the zone for it. Pops out. That one was around his shins. Goes down for it. The end result is a weak pop fly over to second base, and Iowa Central goes down quietly in order. Here in the bottom of the first, we'll be right back. They're going to have to try to keep this lead at 2, while Ellsworth tries to get its first win of the 4-game series and first conference win. We'll be right back on the Triton Nation Network. So Greg Anderberg walks up to the plate. Already up to a 2-0 lead. This Ellsworth offense exploded. The first 2 batters of the game were a double and a home run. End result is 2 runs up on the board. Now Iowa Central have to play a little bit of catch-up for the first time in this series. This one coming in. Ellsworth trying to steal a win before they have to leave Fort Dodge. Iowa Central took a couple from him yesterday. 1-2-0 and then won by an 8-run roll in the 7th in the second game. So Iowa Central looking to get out of this first week of home games 6-0. Ellsworth trying to steal its first home win. Its first conference win. And trying to get something out of this trip. A little bit of offensive explosions have helped. The Bats have been relatively quiet for the last 3 games, so maybe they can get a little bit of a rhythm here. But now 3-1 to Annenberg. The pitch. Lets it go. A good worked at bat, and he'll get on base for it. So for the second time in 2 innings, the leadoff man is on. And he's on in front of Evan Jackson.
Center fielder number 11, Evan Jackson.
So Jackson digs in. Fresh count. Moeller working quickly to him. This one inside. 1-0. A little bit of control issue so far. Hasn't really settled into a rhythm yet, Moeller. Got jumped on at the top of the first inning, and now he's walked the first one he's faced in the second. So 1-1 after the foul tip. Moeller's been mostly two-seam fastballs so far, and that's what he'll do most of the day. It'll be 80-90% of his pitches. And it's a good one. It comes in at 86 to 88. As I say that, it runs a breaking ball up on the hands, gets a check swing foul. One, two, trying to put him away. Changeup is chased. Grounded over. They're not going to be able to turn 2. But Franco will get one over at first to Diaz. So now Iowa Central still has to deal with a scoring threat. There's a runner on second with only 1 out.
Right fielder number 29, Brandon Mockler.
Mockler comes up to take his first at-bats of the series. Didn't start either game yesterday. So comes in, face Moeller, and that one's right over Main Street, hard of the plate. Said come and get it with a fastball. He's up 0-1. Now Moeller taking his time. Likes to work slowly, and he gets him swinging over the off-speed pitch. 0-2, got him all sorts of tied up in the dirt there. Trying to get rid of the after effects of a leadoff walk. They walked Annenberg, and he's sitting on second right now after the fielder's choice. This one grounded over. It'll move the runner up to third, but for the second time in a row, it's going to be Franco to Diaz to get the out. That run to try to extend this lead. Gets 90 feet closer to home, and responsible for driving it in
Second baseman for Sergio Alanis.
is going to be Sergio Alanis. Alanis walks up. This is curveball in there for a strike. 0-1. Just looking to make some good contact. Has to put this one in play with the runner just sitting there waiting to be knocked in. And you never know how long the Iowa Central bats are going to stay quiet on any given game, so you want to work in as big of a lead as you can. Because with a lineup that talented, you figure they're going to score eventually. Moeller fires. Missing that outside corner by a good bit. 2-1. Been missing that outside spot. He's been able to find the inside corner pretty consistently. Hasn't been able to mix it up much, though, and here it's right down the middle. Swung on. The shortstop sprawls out, gets it over. Good play. But he's going to pull his foot off the bag, and Diaz can't get the tag on. So I think the scoring is going to be an infield single. Off the throw. It was hit pretty squarely to him. The throw kind of chases him off the bag, but either way, a run is going to score. Iowa Central now down 3-0, and the bat's early for Ellsworth. So, Alanis gets the RBI, a critical RBI, and now Ellsworth extending this lead a bit. Moeller running into some trouble so far. He's only got, I'd say, 5 outs. He's given up 3 runs on 3 hits. He needs to settle down because Iowa Central needs a few good innings out of him, and he's more than capable of doing that. Gets a strike over. 1-1. He's got good stuff. As I mentioned, that high 80s two-seamer is a very good pitch. Just hasn't really been able to locate so far today. This one coming in. It's golfed out. Over towards, and now they're calling each other off. Luckily, looked like they were on a collision course, but finally, that's taken over by Halligan. He comes in and gets it. That's the 3rd out, so Iowa Central gets out of the inning, but not before giving up a run. We'll be right back with more baseball on the Triton Nation Network. Your Tritons, half of the second.
Bring up the Iowa Central second, right fielder number 34, Stephen Calderon.
So Calderon's going to come in, and now, after giving up another run in the top of the second, Iowa Central needs to start putting the ball in play. Seeing what happens. Had a great offensive game just about 45 minutes ago. They put up 8 runs. They're more than capable of it, but now they're going to be working from behind. As the Ellsworth bats have jumped on the board quickly. Panthers up 3-0. And now a 1-1 count to Calderon. Calderon went 1 for 3. His one hit was a single into right. In game 1 today. This one misses in the dirt, 2-1. He'll now await the pitch. He's got himself ahead in the count. He might be looking to drive something here. Gets him way ahead of that pitch on the inside. Checks the swing but makes contact anyway. It's 2-2. Awaiting the pitch. After the check swing, it was a off-speed pitch that fooled him, and now to try to get him fishing in the dirt there, but he'll hold off. Good take. He's worked the count full. The pitch coming, payoff pitch at the plate. 3-2 pitch is hittable. It's hit high, and I believe over everybody. The count's still full. After the long foul, trying. After putting that one out, play to square one up. He's been a bit under everything so far this at-bat. They've been working him low and away whenever they can. That's where they're going here, and he's able to foul it off again. So the count stays full, and we go to our 8th pitch of the at-bat. Digging in for yet another one. Hasn't made this at-bat easy on him, making him throw a lot of pitches. Into a hitter like Calderon, each pitch is dangerous. This one inside, he's drawn a walk. He's got himself on to lead off the second, and that's what Iowa Central needs. Base runners as they're down early. Snoocher is DHing. He caught the last game. So now they won't ask much from him on defense. His only job is to swing the bat, and he does that well. Here a chance to start something for Iowa Central after the leadoff man gets on. He takes this one knee high over the plate, 0-1. Has to be smart here. He needs to put the ball in play, but preferably not hard and on the ground. But either way, down by 3 early. Getting the leadoff man on is a golden opportunity, and Iowa Central has some good hitters coming up and doesn't want to allow it to go to waste. The delivery is up and away. He's got himself ahead in this count, 2-1. The high heat, we'll see what they throw coming off of it. Seems to be setting up in the dirt. It's left up, though. Belted towards right field. Made good contact, but it's right at the right fielder. Not much you can do about that one. He had a good swing. He'll walk back to the dugout, and Iowa Central will have one less out to work with now, 1 down. And Aracena coming up.
Third baseman, number 15, Junior Aracena.
Aracena walks up, a critical at-bat. The 1-out batter. Trying to make sure Iowa Central doesn't have to try to do anything with 2 outs. He'd really like to keep the inning going momentum-wise. This one popped high and out of play down the right field line. 0-1 after he just misses a fastball. That was where he wanted to hit. It was a good pitch to hit. He was just a bit late on it. Key pitch here. Try to even the count up if he can take it, but it's brought over the plate into right center. It should be playable by one of the 2 outfielders. Right field's going to take it. 2 down. Diaz pops out. Had himself a pitch to hit. Got a bit under it. Now Halligan is going to walk up and be Iowa Central's last chance to try to scratch a run across here in the second.
Left fielder number 4, Austin Halligan.
So 2 straight flyouts to right. Now Iowa Central down to its last out here in the second. Halligan waiting for the pitch. He thought about squaring around. Third base is playing a bit far back, and he is a very, very quick kid. So if he could get one down, he would have been a threat. But now you don't figure he's going to square up again because they're looking at him and creeping in. The chance to catch them off guard is gone. And now checking over to first, nothing going. Calderon didn't have a huge lead, was able to get back pretty casually. 1-0. Halligan just trying to find a line drive somewhere. This one low and away. Ball 2. Been spotting up pretty well until these last 2 batters. Was able to get the fly out to Aracena, but it was on a pitch that was a mistake. Left it hanging up around the belt. Now trying to get his command back. This one's up above the letters. 3-0. Now really struggling, and he'll have to try to fight back in this count. See how much they trust Halligan here, 3-0. There are 2 outs, so he's more likely to get the green light. Still, though, 3-0 is generally a take situation, and he takes, walks. Was taken all the way, and now he'll go over to third. And while there are 2 outs, there is a runner in scoring position to potentially be knocked around. Gassner to take his first at bat of the day.
Catcher number 8, Dylan Gassner.
So a single and a walk, and now there are runners on first and second. Unfortunately, there were a couple of pop outs to right in between those. So there are 2 outs. Gassner the last chance. This one knee high down the middle. Good pitch for strike 1. Gassner doing the catching here, game 2. Getting some action are both catchers, Snitcher and Gassner. As when you play this many games, you really can't have only one. You like to spread out the workload, and they'll each catch a game apiece today. Quickly down 0-2 in a critical situation, though. Gassner going to have to just try to keep himself alive until he can get something to hit here. Going to have to protect the plate. This one coming over. It's a curve ball. Gets him out ahead of it. He pops it right back to the pitcher off the one hop. It's cleaned up, and Iowa Central makes a little bit of noise, but is unable to scratch a run across here in the second. We'll be right back with the top of the third on the Tri Nation Network. So now coming up, Travis Miller. Moeller probably not happy to see him again. Last time he took the first pitch he saw and cranked it over the left field fence. Now they've quickly blown a strike by him, though. That was a 2-run shot in the top of the first, and it busted Ellsworth out to a quick 2-0 lead, one that they extended with another run in the second. Now this little dribbler out. Someone's going to have to take charge. It'll be Moeller. He'll sling it over, and he slings it past everybody. Oh, and they get lucky. Iowa Central gets a break as Miller tries to round it hard to take an extra base off of the air on the throw. But he slips and falls on the loose dirt over there. So he'll keep himself at first. And Iowa Central lucks out. That could have been extra bases.
First baseman, Trent Ballard.
So here in the top of the third, Iowa Central lets the leadoff man on. That's the 3rd inning in a row. And, of course, you don't have to be any kind of expert to tell you that that's the thing you want to avoid. Having a man on with nobody out gives you a lot less room to work. So now Moeller going to have to try to work his way out of trouble. On this one, he was maybe a little bit ahead of it. It was off the tip of the bat. But still a deep fly ball over to Martinez, who corrals it pretty easily with his speed. No problem getting to that spot. 1 down. 1 down, Miller standing on first after the error. It was a throwing error by Moeller. And Najai King comes up. Najee King fouls his first one off. A lot of power in the swing. Strong built. Ball flies off his bat pretty well if he can get a hold of one. Hasn't so far in his first time. He popped up lazily over to left. Moeller kicks and deals. Oh, gets him way out ahead of that changeup. He knew halfway through that swing he'd been fooled, but he wasn't able to really do anything but take an awkward wave at it, and now down quickly 0-2. This one over, and it's going to kick foul. Najee King still working down 0-2. One down here in the third. Miller gets his lead. It's a conservative one. You wouldn't think of him traditionally as a threat to steal. More of a power threat at the plate. This one up high, but climbing the ladder and taking a swing, so it's going to stay 0-2. That swing probably a product of the mentality you take down 0-2, trying to expand the zone and protect the plate. That time he swung at one that was probably a little bit above where the official would have called, but he was in protect mode, and now they go high and they dump a curveball right on him in the dirt, get him swinging over top of it. A well-executed sequence by Moeller, and they'll be 2 down.
Third baseman Sebastian Mancera.
Mancera up. This one swung over, first pitch. They're going to get the third out on it. So Mancera grounds out to second. That's going to end the Ellsworth half of the third. Iowa Central now still looking to put something on the board. They're down here early, 3-0. We'll see what they can do in the bottom of the third. So now up walks Rodney Rodriguez. Iowa Central could really use him on here. Get something started here. They've gone 3 innings scoreless. 2 innings scoreless. Now this is their third chance up, and they've quickly fallen behind 3-0. Second pitch of the at-bat taken. Bounced over. Shortstop takes it. Gets him by half a step over at first. Made that a lot closer over at first than I thought it was going to be off the bat. He's a quick fielder, and that's what he does. That's why it translates over to the base pad as well. Franco now walks up after the ground out. So Franco comes up, the leadoff hitter in this lineup, as the scorecard turns over and we get back to the number 1 hitter. He struck out to begin this game and now down 0-1 after the foul tip. 0-1. Iowa Central still waiting for the bats to transfer over games. Scored in every inning of the last game. Ended up winning 8-0. Looking to get a little bit of that magic going, and now they need it. They were down quickly in this game. They were down 2-0 after 2 at-bats. The leadoff man for Ellsworth doubled. Then Travis Miller, the second hitter, hit both of them down, and now this is giving a jolt out to left. It's carrying a bit more than I thought it was going to off the bat, but it will eventually settle around the warning track and be tracked down. He gave it a ride, but at the end of it, it's just going to be a long out. Good cut
Center fielder, Felix Martinez.
from Martinez, but nothing's going to come out of it. Martinez walks up. Pardon me, good cut from Franco as he takes it deep. Martinez looking for a chance to get something going. He popped out to left last time up. 1-0. Ahead in the count, and now he's way ahead in the count, up 2-0. Good chance for Martinez here. He's watched a couple go by, and now he should get something hittable the next few pitches. If not, he'll take his walk, and this one misses outside too. This is a little bit of what I think the Tritons might have been missing their first time around. A little bit of patience. Maybe they started swinging outside of themselves their first time through because they were absolutely crushing the ball in the first game, so maybe they got a bit over-aggressive, and now they're readjusting the mindset. I think this is what they have to do against this pitcher. Work the count in your favor because, honestly, he's been a little bit all over the place, but he has good enough stuff that he's been getting swings and misses. And this one is out of play, so now after being up 2-0, Martinez, the count is full. Smizik looking to put him away and looking to get through this inning 1-2-3 as well. Can he go 1-2-3 and 2 out of the 3 innings? Well, it's going to depend where this ball lands, and it looks like it's going to be playable by the right fielder, tracking in. Good play over there in right. Tracks down the easy fly ball. Iowa Central goes down 1-2-3 in the third. We'll be right back with the top of the fourth after this short break on the Triton Nation Network. Greg Annenberg comes up. He drew a walk his first time up. So trying to get a leadoff man on. He's already had a look at this pitcher. Was able to get himself on base, and if he could again, Ellsworth would have a golden opportunity to extend this lead even further. But this time, ground over to Arcena. Slung over, Arcena to Diaz, 6-3 for the out. Ground out here to open up the fourth.
Center fielder, Evan Jackson.
Now Jackson walking up after the lead out ground out. Moeller looking better in this last inning and 2/3. Took him a while, as it sometimes does for a pitcher, to really get his best stuff going and start locating. Unfortunately for him, he got jumped on quickly. It usually takes an inning or two to get to your best stuff, but in that inning or two, they jumped on him for 3 runs. So now he has to try to calm this down. Get through an inning clean would help. Get through a couple in a row, actually, as he tries to retire the top of the 4th. He got through the top of the 3rd clean, so if he could get a couple in a row, you'd figure he'd be able to say he was in rhythm. And now, there's a very well-located changeup. He gets the batter to swing through. Pitch to Jackson is hittable and lined out into center field. An easy play for Martinez, 2 down.
Right fielder Brandon Mockler.
Mockler comes up. He grounded out over to second. His first time up was a hard-hit ground ball. A couple feet to the right or left, and now swinging through the curveball. And he would have found himself a base hit, but hit it right at Franco. Now looking to square him up again, but that wasn't going to be a swing. A great curveball. Gets him swinging at air. And now another one. Keep throwing it till he proves he can hit it, I guess. 2 curveballs in a row, same location, same result. And to be fair, there's really not much you're going to do with that one. And they get him on a 3rd. 3 straight off-speed pitches, retires Mockler. And now, Moeller in a little bit of a rhythm. We'll hope he can carry that through. Off to a rocky start, but so far, has been able to recoup pretty well. We'll be right back on the Tri Nation Network.
Down center field, first baseman Fran Diaz.
Now Fran Diaz comes up to bat. And as he does, Iowa Central really needs him on here if they can get him. Down quickly here, 3-0. So Iowa Central really needs to get something working on the offensive end. Wouldn't hurt to get the leadoff man going here in the bottom of the 4th. So a 1-1 count. Diaz looking for something to drive. He gets it. High pop fly over to right field. Should be playable by Mockler, and it is. Hauled in for out number 1 here. So 1 out as Diaz is retired.
Right fielder Stephen Calderon.
Calderon comes up. He singled his first time around. And pardon me, not a single. I had that misbooked. Is over ones just like everyone else on the Triton roster. Still looking for their first hit. Iowa Central. You figure it's got to be just a matter of time. This is a lineup that just recently, just last game, about an hour and a half ago, put up 8. So you figure if this lineup can swing the bat that kind of way, it's just a matter of time until they do put up a few runs and maybe start cutting into this lead, but for now, Smizek has been in complete control. Smizek dealing. Gets him swinging through the changeup up high. It's not where he wanted to locate it, but it's also not the pitch that Calderon was looking for. So he gets away with it. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Gets a lot of break. Started at the batter, then curved in. Looked like he might even be threatening the strike zone. He has to reach out and foul that one off. 2-2 in the pitch. Bat rings through the arena as he does get a hold of it, but it's a one hop right to his first base coach. Two the count. The pitch coming, looking to put him away, and they do. Breaking ball gets him out ahead and over top. And he'll sit down. Iowa Central trying to avoid being retired in order in the fourth, just like they were in the third. Calderon goes down swinging. Bring up Snoocher. He flew out to right his last time up. The pitch. Iowa Central has had 5 home games so far this year, counting the one they just played earlier today and won them all. This one poked over into right field, and now Iowa Central gets in the hit column for the first time of the day. Base hit by Snoocher into right. Aracina's up. He also flew out to right.
Third baseman, Junior Aracina.
Smizek pitching very well. Smizek, pardon me, pitching very well. Locating well. Not overwhelming with the fastball, but good enough to sneak one by you if you're not paying attention. And is locating it and the curve very effectively so far. He sneaks a strike over here. Low and away to Aracina. Aracina trying to be smart with this pitch and not fall behind 0-2. They check behind. Nothing going there. Guess Snoocher didn't really have that big of a leadoff in the first place. 0-1 to Aracina. Now the pitch comes to the plate. Swings over the breaking ball inside. Taps his helmet a little bit. He knows he probably should have let that one go, but now, after the good pitch in the dirt, he's going to have to protect the plate. 0-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. The pitch, he has to fight that one off. It was in on his hands. Good swing to keep himself alive. Really no way to be able to tell at the plate where that one was going to end up. Now he steps back in. Taking his time. Smizek dealing. This one is hit. And it's carrying the center fielder back. It's carrying both of them back. And Hit gets out of here. Aracina puts one up in the jet stream over to left. It carries its way out, and Iowa Central's one swing put themselves right back in this ball game. It's 3-2. And the lead is all but evaporated now. Any breathing room they had is gone as Halligan steps up. A big swing of the bat from Aracina.
Left fielder Austin Halligan.
Wasn't sure if it was going to get out. Didn't get a good look at it off the bat, but it carried and carried and carried. Over the top of that scoreboard. You got an awful lot of it. And now, the kick and the fire. Inside on Halligan. 1-0. So the saying is, you're always a bloop and a blast away. Well, there was the single and there was the blast, and now Iowa Central right back in this ball game. Halligan falls behind in the count on bad pitch selection right there. Swings at one outside the plate. Draws even, pardon me. Doesn't fall behind. He goes 1-1. Either way, he'll have to be a bit more picky as this count goes on. There's one right over the heart of the plate, but it was about knee high and bending. Probably thought that one was going to miss low, but it sneaks its way inside. 1-2. Here comes the pitch. Misses low and in the dirt. And the count's now even at 2s. 2 down here in the 4th. Iowa Central's already plated a couple on the Aracena home run. Firing. Down and away. He's worked the count full. So a good at-bat here worked by Halligan, and now he's trying to pay off. Ball 4, or a hittable pitch here. And he could have worked himself a great at-bat. Gets a piece of this one. It's over into the gap. It's going to be a problem for the center fielder, but he has enough legs to get on there, under there. He had to range a long way to his right. So a good defensive play. Hats off to Mockler. We'll be right back. Pardon me, to Jackson tracking that down over in center field. We'll be right back after this short break on the Triton Nation Network. Alani is now coming up, leading off the top of the 5th here. His last time up, he singled and drove in a run, their 3rd run. So at this time, the lead run for them, he's been the difference so far. Trying to deal to him, they get the first strike over. Second pitch, over 2, so quickly. Dealing to the number 9 hitter. They've gone right at him. Put him down in the count. Now looking to put him away. And they get him swinging through, strike 3. So quick work. Going right at him, even though he had a single on him before. Aggressive. No fear of the hitter in that situation. And in 3 strikes, they've retired the 9-hole hitter. And now coming up is Rasbeck. Moeller. Oh, and this one's clubbed. Right field. It's backing him up to the wall. It's out. Nope. Oh, one off the top of the wall. This one's going to come down. He's digging 3. The throw might be. He's out of there. What a throw. It looked like a hither. And he was hosed. Off the bat, I mean, off the wall looked like a triple, and he was out by a good 3 or 4 steps. Wow. Steven Calderon with the gun. And instead of having a runner on third, this is how big of a play Calderon's just made. Instead of having a runner on third with one out, bases empty with nobody on for Miller. Their best RBI man, and this one's bounced. One. Moeller. This one tipped over. It's going to be bouncing out of bounds. Right by the third base coach. Foul. 1-2. Now, Moeller, you just got a gem of a play from your right fielder. You'd really like to get this guy out and go back to the dugout. Your defense gave you a gift right there. Get out of this inning clean. And this is going to be a lazy fly ball up. It could be trouble, though. It's dancing in between everybody. Shortstop. Didn't have a lot of loft on it, but that was the problem. It didn't carry long enough to get to the outfield, so the infielders had to deal with it, but they do. And Iowa Central keeps the inning close and keeps the inning clean, in no short part because of a great gun from Stephen Calderon to cut a runner down at third after a smoked ball that bounced off the wall. Beautiful web jam. Probably saved Iowa Central a run opportunity. We'll be right back on the Tri Nation Network. Gassner now walking up. This comes down to the bottom of the fifth. Nobody on, nobody out. In a key situation for Iowa Central. They're just one run away from tying this ball game up. They've been struggling all day to try to get not all day. They scored 8 in the first, all game, all this second game of this doubleheader. And now this one's belted in. That could be 2. Gassner jumps on the 1-0 pitch. Nope. Doesn't settle down in the gap. It's going to be fielded on the 1 hop. He'll settle in with a single, but still he's on to start this inning.
Shortstop, Rodney Rodriguez.
So Rodriguez walks up. The 0-0 pitch to him is chopped. That might find a gap. No, it's going to be knocked down by the second baseman. I don't think he got in time. He didn't. The infield single for Rodriguez. It's going to be a scoring decision. He had to range over a bit. Scoring table is going to give him an error. So either way, he reaches. Won't help his batting average any, but it will move runners into first and second with nobody out. And Iowa Central with a golden chance to at least tie this game. Maybe do a bit more with Franco. Franco has struck out and flown out so far today. The lefty dealing. He's going to square around. Doesn't pull the trigger on the bunt as that one's high and away. Ball 1. Would be a good move here. If you like Franco to square around a bunt, if he can get a good one down, it will put the leading run in scoring position. If he could move the runners. He squares. Lets this one go too. Smizek has to be careful here. The last thing you want to do is walk a guy who's trying to offer you the out. So you figure there's no reason not to square up again. He will. He's squaring up. Gets the bunt down. It's a good one. They'll only have a play at one, so the leadoff man does his job. Spencer Franco moves him into scoring position for Martinez.
Center fielder, Felix Martinez.
As Martinez walks up, runners on second and third. A single you'd figure would score them both. Two good runners. And now there's going to be a little bit of a talk at the mound, and no reason not to. It's an important situation. One swing away from being down. Ellsworth jumped out to a quick lead. Two at-bats into this game, they jumped up 3-0. Pardon me, 2-0. Their leadoff batter of the entire game had a double. And then to follow it up, Travis Miller hit a bomb into left center and put Ellsworth up quickly. Now they're trying to hold on to that lead. Iowa Central's been chasing ever since. Ellsworth tacked one more on in the second until a two-run bomb in the fourth by Aracena put Iowa Central right back in this game, 3-2. After that, Gassner got on. Rodriguez reached on the air. Franco moved him over with a sac bunt, and that's where we sit right now. Martinez comes up with runners on second and third. Golden RBI opportunity to at least get one here. With a deep fly ball, or if he can find a gap, it'll surely be two. As they break the mound. They break the mound visit. It'll be a fresh count. Lefty dealing to the tall, lanky batter in Martinez. And this one was a hittable curveball, but fouled off. 0-1. To Martinez. They got him swinging over the curveball to start with. If he's holding to his normal pattern, that means the fastball is coming. We'll see what he goes with. Nope, goes with another hook. This one never curves. It stays high and away. 1-1. Martinez just looking to connect. If he can put anything into the outfield, you figure it might have a chance to score two, especially if he puts it into right. So just looking to squeeze something through here. This gets him out. He was out on his front foot, lunging at that one. 1-2. So one strike away from getting a big second out here. He'd still have to deal with Diaz, but this would be a start. Martinez adjusts the bat, and now he's going to step out. Be a good time for him to get his first hit of the day. He's flown out to left and grounded out to second so far in this game. But this would be a nice time to have a base knock. He lets this one go in the dirt, a good eye. Takes it 2-2. Trying to bait him into going golfing. As he lays off. Runners get big leads with nobody holding them. And now Martinez is going to step out. No reason not to take a few seconds to think. This is the biggest pitch of the day potentially coming to the plate. The 2-2 dealing from Smizik is hit on the ground to third. They're going to try to come down to the plate. A base running decision. He went on contact off the one hop. The only way he could have avoided it is if he would have known how hard it was hit, but there was no way to tell. On the ground, he had to trust that it was going to get through. He gets cut down at the plate.
First baseman Fran Diaz.
So now the last chance is going to come down to Fran Diaz. Homered in the first game. Still looking to get a hold of one. He's popped out to second and right today, so he's been a bit behind that fastball. If he catches up to one of those, he can put it a ways. Wind still blowing right to left. He watches this curveball drop in low. An overcast day here makes the outfielder's jobs a bit harder trying to track that white ball against a gray sky, but so far no blunders out there. One-zero. Rodriguez gets his lead, and this is put over, and are they going to send him? They're going to send him around, and it's going to be a play at the plate. Nope, they're going to hold it. Not enough arm to get that in. Not enough arm in right to get that one on the fly to the plate, so the run is going to score off of the cutoff. And Iowa Central's tied this game up with the leading run just 90 feet away.
Right fielder Stephen Calderon.
Good piece of bat work there by Diaz. Let that ball get deep. Put a good solid swing on it. Quick hands. Trusted those hands. You have to in opposite field hitting. Quick hands and a quick wrist. Score Iowa Central their third run. Here in the bottom of the fifth, they're right in this game, and they're not done in this inning yet. And this one runs inside and gets a piece of Calderon. So Calderon takes the HBP, and now it's Snoocher who, his last time up, had himself a single. And that could, in theory, make this a 5-3 game if he were to do it again. The pitch. He leaves that one high. Good plate discipline here. This is one of those situations, it's the old saying, but a walk is really as good as a hit here. Would drive one in. So expect him to be patient and pick his spot. Leaves this one in the dirt. It's going to get away. Martinez is going to score easy. He steps in. And the RBI opportunity is still there for Snoocher as the runners move up to second and third. Diaz stands on third, and Calderon is going to be getting his lead from second. 1-0 trying to really jump on this inning. They've put up a couple. The bats are getting hotter. They've scored in each of the last two innings now, after they were quiet for the first three. To Snoocher. Curveball over the outside part of the plate. Sneaks back door. 1-1. Nice pitch to get himself even in the count. You can see big open stance from Snoocher. Will end right where he's supposed to be, though, as he takes the step. That's how he times up a pitch. This one over the inside part of the plate. 1-2. Now he'll probably shorten that stride up a bit as he tries to protect. The 1-2 to Snoocher. Gets him chasing in the dirt. Strike three. They'll apply the tag for the end of the inning, but not before Iowa Central scores two. Goes ahead in this ball game. We'll be right back, see if Ellsworth can respond on the Triton Nation Network. Now the 0-0 pitch to Trent Bauer.
First baseman, Trent Bauer.
It misses low. 1-0. Ellsworth really needs to respond here. As I mentioned before, they've been struggling against Iowa Central for the last 3 games. They've gone 0-3, and Iowa Central's bats had been explosive. So they had kind of had a few innings where the Iowa Central bats went dormant, and they were able to score themselves. So you really got the feeling that this was the type of game that if they wanted to ride out, they were going to have to keep that lead. But now they're fighting from behind again, and a ground out over to Diaz from Bauer. The ground ball fielded. Slung over. Takes it himself.
Designated hitter, Najee King.
So Najee King comes up here in the top of the 6th with 1 down after the ground out. Looking to get a spark for for Ellsworth, but instead it's going to be a ground ball potential. Oh, an error. It's going to be an error. Diaz on the bobble, and he's frustrated with himself. Was almost able to save it with the throw, but the throw not in time. So King is going to reach on an error, and that's the potential tying run right now.
Third baseman, Sebastian Mancera.
Mancera now does have to be careful. He's a contact hitter. He likes to hit line drives, and he'll put the ball on the ground on occasion, and that's not what they need right now. A hard hit ground ball could be the end of this inning. So you figure they're going to be working to him low and with movement. The pitch. The low outside fastball misses. And of course that two-seam fastball from Moeller, such a good ground out pitch. Comes in at 87 and he'll tail away from that left-handed batter. Take a check. He had a big lead off, but he gets back in time. One to Mancera. Kicks and deals. And the 1-1 pitch is fought off over the outfield fence. Over the foul fence. 1-2. Towards the home dugout. So he's a bit behind on that swing, and now he's going to take his time. Timeout granted by the official. Wind dying down a bit here for the second game, not gusting quite as much as it did earlier on in the day. The runner's going to go. The hit and run is on, and this is dangerous. He's going to have to scramble back. They might have time to get him. He's busting back, and they've doubled him up. That's just unlucky. Iowa Central gets a gift there, and they take advantage of it. The hit and run goes as wrong as it can. Iowa Central doubles them up. We'll be right back for the Tritons half of this inning on the Triton Nation Network. Aracena now up. He's been a big part of Iowa Central's offense, especially here in this second game. 2 of those runs are from a home run that he belted in the fourth to get them on the board and right back in this game now, trying to add to his day. Smizik dealing to him. Maybe trying to be a bit more careful than he was last time. Left a mistake pitch over the middle of the plate. That's why he got punished. And he's already seen what the power of Aracena can do if you leave that. So now working carefully, but maybe a bit too carefully as he's down 2-0. The 2-0 pitch coming, and you figure it's got to be a fastball. Try to get this over, and it is. And it's going to be a foul ball. It takes a one hop over the third base bag and ends up foul. As he digs back in. Iowa Central with a 1-run lead. But the way this game's been, it's been back and forth. It's been a bit crazy. A bit of everything has happened. So you know that with the type of game that's developed, they'd really like a bigger margin for error than 1 run. Both teams have 4 hits. Iowa Central has committed 2 errors. Ellsworth has committed 1. This one's over the plate and knee high. He watches it go by for strike 2. Two Smizik deals. And this is put right up the middle. It looks like a base hit off the bat. Able to get over. Did they get him in time? They did. I thought it was soft enough that maybe the middle infielders weren't going to have time to react. But a good reaction off the hop and a better throw gets him at first. So Aracena goes down after a good defensive play. Now coming up with 1 out, Austin Halligan. He walked in the second. And here he cranks it high and deep. It's a sky ball. A potential rain bringer as it comes down. Thing went farther up than it went out. And ended up resting in center field. Took a long time to come down, but when it does, it's going to be out number 2. Halligan flies out to center.
Catcher Dylan Gassner.
Gassner takes his first one, 0-1. He's stepping up to bat with 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Now this one, it could be 2 down the line. It lands fair. He's going to round it hard, and they're going to send it. Nope. He takes a look, decides better of it. Rodriguez will come up now after the single.
Shortstop, Rodney Rodriguez.
So Rodney Rodriguez comes up. Iowa Central looking to work. A little bit of 2-out magic here after the single. He awaits the pitch. 0-0, and he takes it belt high for the first strike. The pitch coming. Breaking ball. Catches the corner before it dips out. 0-2. Borderline unhittable pitch there on the curveball. Got over for a strike and then just kind of disappeared down towards the shins of Rodriguez. Time called by the official. I think it was called by the catcher for a little bit of an extra time to get the preferred pitch from his coach. And now that it's called, we'll see what it is. It's a curveball, up and away. Misses a spot with it, 1-2. With Gassner leading off. This is over. It's in between the shortstop and third baseman. It's a hit. Bouncing single into left, and now Iowa Central, 2 straight hits with 2 outs, has runners on first and second. So that insurance run creeps into scoring position. Iowa Central, of course, only up by 1. Would be nice to get a little bit of breathing room, and one swing from Franco could certainly do that. Franco dropped a sac bunt his last time out. Before that, he popped out to left and struck out. So now they're going to have a meeting, as this is a key position. There is a man warming up. Smizek has been pitching pretty well. Are they going to keep it his ball is the question. The man in the pen doesn't seem to be budging, and they haven't pointed to him yet as this conversation continues. He's gone 5 innings. He's given up 4 hits. Pardon me, 5 hits. He's given up 4 runs and had 1 error committed behind him. 3 of those runs were earned. So we'll see what the decision is here. It is an interesting one. And they're going to leave him in. So he's going to dust off the rubber from the visit. And it's going to be Smizek's ball. Dealing to Franco. Franco, as I mentioned, sacked last time, but they need a hit out of him now. Really need him to find a way on base and keep the conveyor belt going, or maybe find the RBI himself. Smizek asking for the sign again. And then he digs in. Straight into his motion in the fire. Misses belt high and away for ball 1. It's 1-0. Franco has to make this at-bat count. That RBI on second is potentially gold, and he knows that, so he has to be smart here. The 1-0 pitch coming. Hittable, but he leaves it up around the belt. Takes ball 2. Two-0 count after he watches 2 pitches go by, so he's got himself in a good situation here. 2-0 pitch coming. That one finds the zone, 2-1. So 2-1, we'll see if they challenge him. They really can't work around him. They don't have a base to give. Smizek kicks and fires, and they do come right out of him, and he rips it right to the shortstop, and he's not going to have a play. It's going to be an error on a rip. Scorched at him. It's borderline. We'll see what the scoring decision is. And they're going to score it a hit. It was borderline. No defined rules. It's up to interpretation. That one, it was a tough play. He had to take one step to his right and try to get in front of that. So 2-0. 2 outs here. Runner on every bag for Martinez, and now they're going to have a conversation. And he certainly earned a hit. He absolutely knocked the cover off that ball in the 1 hop to short. Tough play, tried to backhand it. Even if he would have found the backhand, I think he had his toes on the outfield grass. It would have been a long throw over. And now another stoppage in play. Now they're going to point to the pen. So as it comes in, we'll be right back after the pitching changes. But when we do come back, maybe the biggest at-bat of the game, a chance to bust this game open. It's 4-3, but the bases are loaded with Martinez coming up. We'll be right back with his at-bat after this short break on the Tri-Nation Network. So the book is now closed on Smizek. He will have to wait and see whether he's going to stay with 3 earned runs on the day. One of those runs was unearned as an error led to it. But he is responsible for all 3 runners on. Now working at the plate, though, the biggest at-bat of the day. Working to Martinez. Deshaun Welch comes in, and he couldn't be a bigger spot. He gets thrown in with the bases juiced and 2 outs. Martinez pops this one foul, out of play. Martinez trying to keep this going. Iowa Central's been able to load the bases up, but haven't been able to capitalize on it yet. Haven't had the opportunity. We'll see what they can get out of the hits they've strung together. The pitch coming. It's ripped, and that's going to be an RBI, maybe 2. One comes around. They're going to send Rodriguez, and he's going to pull in. And he's going to cross home plate as well. Iowa Central is up 6-3, and there's the breathing room they've been looking for. So those earned runs do go to Smizek, and he's also responsible for the 1 on third. So now, as I add those, he's given up 5 earned runs on the day. He went 5 2/3 inning, gave up 6 hits. 6 runs, 5 of them earned. And is responsible for the man on third. Diaz walks in. Oh, and they're going to check him, and he got caught sleeping in between second and first. And the tag goes in, and the inning's going to end on a mistake from Martinez. He drives in 2 RBIs, and then he gets picked off at second base. We'll be right back with the Triton Nation Network. Anderberg walks up, and now Ellsworth could really use a run or 2 in these next couple innings. You don't want to have to try and get a lead all back in the 9th. So they would like to start chipping away at this 3-run lead that Iowa Central has built up. 3 straight. Iowa Central was down 3-0, but now 3 straight innings they've scored 2 runs apiece. 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th to put them up 6-3. So now Ellsworth, who had a pretty good lead early, is going to have to come in, and now this is going to be a start, though. A little Texas League single out in front of the left fielder. Weird trajectory on that ball, somewhere between a line drive and pop fly, but either way, it's going to drop. Drops out in front of Halligan.
Center fielder, Evan Jackson.
Oh, pardon me, the defensive shift. Boys out in left field. Halligan started in left. Have made the replacement. 0-1. Working to him. And on the timing of the shift, you do figure it's thinking in the interest of preserving this lead, boys. Covers a bit more ground out there than Halligan. Halligan can hold his own. But in general, Halligan's a little bit better with a bat in his hand, and Boys is a little bit better with a glove on his hand. And they're both perfectly all right in the other category as well. So it evens out. But in the interest of protecting the lead, the defensive specialist Boys will now be taking up space in left field. 1-2. Oh, and this one looked like it was going to sneak over the outside corner. He doesn't get the call. 2-2. The pitch. This one leaves outside. That one missed by a bit. 3-2. 3-2. The count is full. You got to figure he's going to have to pitch to him. There's no base to put him, and you don't have an out yet. And change up over the outside corner. Finesses his way to a strikeout. Gets him looking. Beautiful pitch. 1 down.
Right fielder Brandon Mockler.
As Mockler walks up, there's going to be a conversation. And, yep, they're signaling for the bullpen. So they're going to take a break to warm him up. We'll be right back on the Triton Nation Network. So Rankin walked in to take over from Moeller in the top of the 7th. So far, Moeller's line reads 3 runs on 5 hits through 6 and a third innings of work. He is responsible for the runner on third, so if it comes across, that will be his earned run. This one chased out. So quickly out of the pen, he's fired 2 balls. Rankin into the game. This comes inside. He gets a strike. 2-1 after a nice little pitch in on the hands. The pitch tries to go from the inside to the outside, goes coast to coast, but misses by a couple inches off the outside corner. Now 3-1, he has to be careful. This is belted, and now they're going to have a chance to double him up. That's why you freeze on a line drive. To the second baseman's chest. Base running mistake leads to a double play. We'll be right back on the Triton Nation Network. Iowa Central going to try to extend this 6-3 lead. Fran Diaz up to bat. 1 for 3 in this game. Brought over. He singled in the 5th. Oh, 1 after the fastball. Kicks and deals. This one outside and low. Work the count even 1-1. Deshaun Welch now dealing to Diaz, and it's a high chopper. This could be a little bit of trouble to deal with. He has to position himself, but after he finally does field it, it's an easy enough throw over. First out. Diaz chops out to the shortstop, and now walking in will be Calderon. Calderon has been hit by a pitch, struck out, and singled into right so far today. This is coming in. It's off the handle. It's a little flare out to center field, and it'll be handled as easily as it came off the bat. 2 down. So Welch off to a good start to the 7th here. Snitcher. Last chance for Iowa Central to try to maybe get something going with 2 outs here. In the 7th. Welch to Snitcher. This one, good pitch. Just going to watch that one go by. Kyle has flown out and singled today. 0 for 1 after taking the strike. Swings right over the top of that one. It was right where he wanted it. Just couldn't quite make contact, and now he's down 0-2. He'll have to protect. Welch hasn't thrown much off speed today, but 0-2 might be a chance. And he does. Goes curveball down and away. You throw that pitch to try to get the batter to think about taking a swing, but that one wasn't located close enough. Out of the hand, Cal knew it wasn't going to find the zone. Welch, oh, that one in on him. Close to hitting him. He'll watch it go by. So the count's worked itself full. Welch to deliver the payoff pitch as this comes over, and it's high and out. Pardon me, it was 2-2. Now 3-2. Lost track of my place in the count, and the scoreboard had itself 3-2. I trusted, and now it's coming over, and now it's high and out. So either way, it's going to result in a walk. Snitcher is going to walk down to first. And Aracena is going to come up. He's got 2 RBIs, and they were 2 big RBIs. Iowa Central was down 3-0, hadn't been able to really get anything going. He hit a 2-run bomb over the left field fence, got it to 2-3, and ever since then, Iowa Central, well, they've scored 2 runs apiece in each of the innings since. So he was really the catalyst for the bats kind of waking up, and now he'll try to continue his work. This one bounces into the right-handed batter's box. 1-0. Oh, now they're going to check the runner. Gets back in time. Iowa Central's not going to get caught on that twice, at least not on this throw. Now Welch is set. Fires, and this one misses away. 2-0. The pitch comes. It misses down and away. 3-0, so now Welch has lost control on this at bat. Now he's going to have to fight down. So 3-0, 2 down. He's pitched a good inning so far, but now he's behind a very good hitter in Aracena. He's going to have to be careful. There are 2 outs, but one swing of the bat from Arsena could make that not matter. This is going to be out of play. Over the away dugout. Count stays 3-0 though. The newly entered Nick Boys in the on deck circle. He'll hit where Halligan hit. Bottom of the 7th here. And they check behind him. That one was close. But he's able to get back in time. 3-1. Still the count. And you got to figure with the way Arsena's feeling today, he's going to take a swing at anything that looks good. That was a breaking ball he took a big cut at. 3-2. Opened up his hips and let the hands fly on that one. Just it wasn't able to quite connect. 3-2 after that swing had bad intentions. Now the count's worked itself full. Welch kicks and fires. And it's belted over towards the left. It's going to be playable by the left fielder, though. Hard hit ball turns into a routine play, and Iowa Central, for the first time in 3 innings, is going to go down without scoring a run. But they're still up 6-3. They'll try to protect that in the top of the 8th. We'll be right back on the Tri Nation Network. Leadoff batter digging in here. Alanis takes the first one, 1-0. This one up around the eyes. Watches that one go by. 2-0. Rankin needs to bring a strike here. Now he gives a strike over at the knees. Alanis dealing with a 2-1 count here. And now this one misses out too. So 3-1. Have to be careful. He fires, and now this one is grounded over to short. It's dealt with in time. If the throw is good, they got him, and they get him by a step or two down the first base line. Good play by Rodriguez to retire him. 1 down here in the top of the 8th. Reisbeck. They've got Kearns. It looks like to me warming up, and they're going to bring him in. He's going to come in with 1 down here in the top of the 8th. Rankin goes 1 1/3. We'll be right back on the Tri Nation Network. So as Racebeck comes up, it'll be his fourth at bat, but it'll be Kern's first couple pitches out of the bullpen as he tries to give this out. There's one down here in the top of the eighth. Comes out and fires a fastball wide. One down. Iowa Central now is 5 outs away from claiming its 6th straight home win. Didn't have any home games the first month or so of the season. Had their first 2 on Thursday. Took both of those. Then they won both halves of a doubleheader yesterday against Ellsworth and won game 1 against Ellsworth earlier in the afternoon. Now trying to start a nice little winning streak here at home. It's already up to 5, trying to extend it to 6, and Kearns is over for strike 2. Kearns, you can see, big and lanky, really has the appearance from the plate that he's getting on top of the hitter. Has a big stride, covers a lot of ground, and as a consequence releases the ball pretty close to home. And this one, 2-hopper over to second, fielded and flung over to Diaz for out number 2. Franco handles the ground ball. Now Iowa Central 1 out away, and that out is Miller. Away from getting through this 8th inning, 1-2-3. Miller homered in the second at-bat of this game. Resbeck doubled in front of him, and then he drove them both in with a big home run. Ellsworth jumped out to a quick 2-0 lead that's now evaporated. Iowa Central has control of this game after a series of scoring innings, 6-3. But that's just to let you know that Miller's bat is still very much dangerous, and they will deal to him with caution. This one up under the hands for a ball. 2-0. The pitch. It's a fastball grounded over to short. Rodriguez scoops it up, flings it over. 6-3 to end it. And Iowa Central now 3 outs away, but they will have a chance to add to their lead before those 3 outs happen. We'll be right back on the Tri Nation Network. Your Triton's up 6-3. So Colin Pipkin comes in. He takes over for Welch, and the first batter he's going to face is, well,
Batting for Halligan, number 11, Nick Boyce.
I guess everything's even because Pipkin is going to be throwing his first pitches of the game, and Boyes is going to be taking his first cuts of the day. Boyes got brought in as a defensive substitute to go play left, and now as a consequence is going to be batting in Halligan's spot in the order. So he comes in, big lefty. As I mentioned before, he gets brought in defensive situations because he's a bit better defensively. He can cover a bit more ground than Halligan, and Halligan swings the stick a little bit better, but both of them perfectly serviceable in the other area. They just have the advantage over each other, which really isn't a half bad problem to find yourself in if you're a coach. But now Boyes quickly is going to have to protect here. He's down 0-2 on 2 pitches. The 0-2 coming from Pipkin. He almost dropped a curveball in there for a strike. Umpire says it misses the zone. 1-2. The pitch coming, and he swings through a letter high fastball, chasing up the ladder, gets blown by him. He'll sit down after the strikeout, and now coming up is Dylan Gassner.
Catcher Dylan Gassner.
1 for 2 on the day is Gassner. One down here in the bottom of the 8th. Iowa Central trying to add to a 6-3 lead before they go and try to defend it for the last time in the top of the 9th. This is brought down for a strike, knee high. Nice pitch to start off the at-bat. Gassner just trying to get on. It is a 3-run lead. It is, you'd figure, good enough to protect as this curveball drops in, but you can still never have too much cushion as you try to get those final 3 outs, because anything can happen, especially at the end of a game. This one comes over, misses outside. 1-2, they say Pipkin missed off the outside corner. And this one, off the handle, it jammed him, and they're going to pop him up over to right. Good job handcuffing the batter there. They get Gassner to pop out to first. So now the last opportunity for Iowa Central to maybe get some offense going here in the 8th is going to come to Rodney Rodriguez. He has singled, reached on an error, and grounded out to second. This one out of the zone. Misses by a good bit. About 2 feet wide. 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. This one in the dirt. Able to keep it in front of him. He'll track that down and hand it back to the umpire behind the plate, but I'm sure we'll have a switch out. We will. Two balls, no strikes, working to Rodriguez. 2 down here in the 8th. Iowa Central's first 2 batters of the inning retired with a strikeout and a pop-out respectively. Now Rodriguez taking his cuts. That one's going to catch the corner for a strike. Still with the advantage in this at-bat, though. 2-1 up in the count. Not a bad situation to have a cut, but this one's nowhere near the zone. 3-1, and now he's in a golden spot to either watch ball 4 go by or have a real big rip at this one. The lefty deals. The kind of cross arm around his body delivery. Goes from a 3/4 arm slot, but this time buries it in the dirt for ball 4. So the lineup will turn over to Spencer Franco. Well worked at bat there by Rodriguez. Rodriguez has now reached successfully in 3 out of 4 at-bats in this game. He'll turn over to Franco. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here. We will. Giving up the ball as the pitcher, and he's going to come in with the runner on first, 2 down, trying to keep this lead at 3. We'll be right back in a minute on the Tri-Nation Network. Charapar into pitch for Ellsworth. Now walking up. The leadoff hitter for the day, Spencer Franco, but now he's coming up with 2 out. Here in the bottom of the 8th, Triton's trying to add to this lead a bit before they turn the ball back over to Kearns to try to get the last 3 outs in the 9th. This pitch is wide. Catcher has to scramble to get it. Good block behind the plate. Bryce Charapar enters in. He's a right-hander. Has a very over-the-top delivery. A straightforward fastball. Seems to complement it with changeup curveball. A little bit of an awkward delivery. Could maybe throw a batter off a bit. This one around the letters. 2-0. Franco taps the plate, sets himself back in after the 2-0 pitch, and now chases it up above the belt, 2-1. Franco was maybe thinking, with a 3-run lead, the count in his favor, he could afford to have one rip. Lets this one go inside, 3-1. So after maybe getting a bit over-aggressive on the 2-0 pitch, he takes that 2-1 pitch for a strike and keeps the count in his favor. 3-1, a hitter's count, a runner leading off, and he has a big cut there. Same pitch he swung at 2-0. Same result, he swings right through it. Franco's worked the count full. Charapar fires. This one's out. He's drawn the walk. Good at bat from Franco. Gets him on base in front of Martinez as the line keeps moving.
Center fielder Felix Martinez.
Martinez has come up. He's flown out to left, grounded out to short, and grounded out to second. He's looking just to get on base here. He's had a rough second game after having a good game in the first offensively. This one misses up. 1-0. 1-0. Charapar dealing. Checking, takes a long look at the runner at second and then fires. Martinez was leaning out over the plate trying to reach for that one, and the result's going to be a miss. 1-1. Charapar kicks and fires. Breaking ball finds its way over the center of the plate, and Martinez watches it go for 1-2. Now he's going to have to protect with 2 strikes on him. Charapar fires. This one's down and away. 2-2. Martinez has looked a little bit off rhythm. He's watched a few go. He's had a good eye. That's the thing keeping him in his at-bat. Hasn't quite been able to square a ball up yet. This one kicks and fires. Chased in under the hands. The wind continues to blow, and the clouds have cleared a bit. We were worried that we might get some weather today. It stayed clear all the way through, and so far, we're in the bottom of the 8th of the second game. It looks like we're going to get through this thing clean as a whistle, and now the runners go in motion on the 3-2 pitch. It's fouled back by Martinez. Nice relaxed feeling on this Sunday doubleheader. First game, Iowa Central jumped out. 1-8-0 after 7. And this one is absolutely belted. It's riding, it's carrying it back, and he hits the base of the wall. That's going to be a double at least. One scores. Martinez slides in the second safely as the throw misses the second baseman by a good bit and jumps into the first baseman's glove. It doesn't matter. 2 runs are going to score either way, and they had no shot at Martinez in second. So Iowa Central now up a little bit more cozily. 8-3, playing afternoon ball. Playing afternoon ball here, Iowa Central looking for its second win of this Sunday. 8-3. Diaz at bat. Martinez on second after the double. I mentioned Martinez was 0 for 3. Those couple RBIs definitely going to help that line look a whole awful lot better. This one comes over the plate 0-1. The pitch to Diaz. He steps out and he's going to hit that one right up the middle. They had him played far to the left. They had the infield shifted, and it's going to cost him an RBI as he has the discipline to keep his hands nice and quiet and just poke it up through the middle. So now our Central up 9-3.
Right fielder, Stephen Calderon.
Yeah, now technically, the winning run steps up to the plate. Calderon could save the top of the ninth entirely if he was able to ride one out of the ballpark here. If Iowa Central goes up by 8 at any point during this inning, as this one skips away, and the 10th run of the game squeaks into scoring position, if they go up by 8 at any point in this inning, it would implement the 8-run rule, and Iowa Central will walk out of here with a victory in walk-off fashion. They would have to do it, though, working with only one out to deal with offensively. 2 are already down. Calderon takes a big cut over the top of this one. 1-1. It's been a good day for baseball all day, especially now the clouds are starting to clear just a bit. It was overcast during the first, but it was still 65 with a nice little breeze running in. Now it's closer to 60. Bit more sunshine. Breeze has stayed about the same constantly. Just enough to keep the flag stiff, going right to left. 2 balls, 1 strike here to Calderon. The pitch coming in. And this one's belted. It could be walking off. Iowa Central has won this ball game. Calderon in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. A man on second. Hits a 2-run single to put Iowa up by 8 and for good. That's a walk-off. As soon as he touches the plate, this game is over. And that's the final salvo of this game. They're going to meet him at home for the handshake line. Calderon has ended this one. A great game, Iowa Central. The final's going to be 11-3. 2 games, Iowa Central's won. 1 8-0 and 7. 1 11-3 and 8. Thank you guys so much for listening. You've been watching baseball on the Triton Nation Network. I've been Tyson Strayer. Thank you for everyone involved in this, and thank you for Iowa Central putting on a show. They're 6-0 at home now, having a good homestand, and they'll continue it on Thursday. But until then, I've been Tyson Strayer. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a fantastic rest of your evening.